everybody. I'm sorry that we're starting a little bit after our scheduled meeting time this morning. I hope everyone has had a good week studying so far and getting some experience with how the quizzes are going to work. Today what we're going to look at is if I can get my PowerPoint working, some of the practice questions from the lecture that we left off last time. That was the lecture, if you were here on Wednesday, about Chaucer. The Zoom slides have not been posted because the device on which they were stored had to be replaced, but the PowerPoints are up on the course website. So if I just go to my share screen button, I will try to share an image of my desktop, which just might take a few minutes with the setup here. Okay, there. Okay, good. Okay, so let's see if it will let me share my screen. Share screen, okay, good. Desktop 1. Okay, so let's open the internet and we'll have a look at the USA Online screen. Okay, so down the left-hand menu bar, we're going to see the resources. Resources for weeks 1, 2, and 3 are what we're going to be looking at for our test. Under week number 1, we have one lecture, that's Boethius. If it's also helpful for you, you can look at Zoom chats. You can look at Zoom chats up here or Zoom MP4 files. If watching videos isn't your thing, it's probably okay if you just read the lecture slides to study for the test. If we look at week 2, we have 2 authors to look at in that week. We have Beowulf and Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. We have chats and Zoom lecture videos for those. So the first way to study is to read these PowerPoint slides and try the questions at the end. Unfortunately, my Microsoft PowerPoint is being very slow to load, as you can probably see. I'm just going to try and log in here, but it's a new product registration. So it might take a few minutes. If I can get PowerPoint going, I'll help you through some of those questions. Those are a really great way to study for the short answer questions on the test on Monday. Okay, perfect. So this registration is going okay. Good. Let's see. Okay, so if I can open this one up and look at maybe location on the computer under downloads. Here we go. Okay, so we have Beowulf, and I think we also have the Partner's Tale. Okay, so we have practice questions here that we'll look at just to see what kinds of questions we might expect on the test. And then I think that at the same time, if we have a look, we'll also see that we've got a nice file on the Partner's Tale that we had from Wednesday, and that will give us some good experience as well with preparing. The types of kind of questions you might want to know how to answer, the type of material that's covered, and lastly, the way that we might structure the topic or the material in a short answer question. Okay, so if I go back to the course website on Google Chrome, and I click week 3, here we go. Okay, so here we have 2 lessons at the last to study. So we'll have 5 in total. We'll have Boethius, Beowulf, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, the Partner's Tale, and the Decameron. All the chats from this week are posted up here, including the video session. The video is up here if you want to see it. It's kind of helpful if you find Chaucer hard to read at all, but if you don't want to watch the optional video, you don't have to. We watched it last time and I did film it, but then the computer that it was stored on crashed. So if I can get it out of the cloud, I might post it, but it's best if you want to see this film, if you just watch it on YouTube yourself. Okay, so the other thing that you might want to look at for this kind of course website to study, in addition to the 5 PowerPoint slides, that's the 5 PowerPoint slide files that will be your main study material, will be assignments. So we have a discussion and presentation today. So I'm going to go through and read some of these for people who can't be there, and then allow people a chance to give you their presentation. It's just a 2% completion credit. If you complete it, I give you 2%. So we'll start that in a few minutes. We also have tests and quizzes. So if you haven't started already, I recommend you do this. Quiz number 1, most people got done. That's wonderful to see. Very good. Congratulations, everybody. Now we also have quiz 2 and 3. Quiz 2 is going to be based on Boccaccio's text, which we've already covered in class. To prepare, just read the lecture slides and then do the 5 multiple choice questions. And quiz 3 is going to be based on our Chaucer text. So you'll just activate it and answer 5 multiple choice questions. These quizzes are due on Monday. So if you go up to the calendar function at the top there, and then you look at our Monday schedule next week, you'll see that we have 3 items there. So another thing I like to do is go to overview and check the calendar. It's got a little number 3 right beside the 22nd. If you click on, a day of, the relevant number that's highlighted, it will show you what you've got due. So, for example, the 9th or the 17th, that was when quiz, we had the quiz due for quiz 1. Today on Friday, we have our presentations and discussion. And then on Monday, if you see the little 3, you just click on it, we'll have quiz 3, quiz 2, and test 1. So ideally, you'll have quiz 2 and 3 well in advance completed by then. I'd recommend doing it today if you want. And then test 1, if you're available during classroom time and you have a question, you can, write the test with a lot of other people. Everyone just turns on their camera so that I can see more easily who has a question and how you're writing it. If you can't join us then, that's okay. You can write it at your own convenience and make sure to get it done by the deadline so that you don't miss out on the test. Because I think every quiz is 1%. Presentations and discussion today are 2%, but then your test is 20%. So take care not to miss test number 1 on Monday. Okay, cool. Does anyone have any questions so far about how we're doing review or this test? Let me open the Zoom chat window. Hi, everyone. How has studying for test number 1 been going so far? Does anyone have any questions before we begin our presentations and discussions this morning?
I do have a quick question.
Yes, hello.
So for the first quiz, it said the due date was, for Wednesday, but then when I opened it, it said it wasn't due till Friday, like on the actual assignment. So I did it late, which is, it's fine. I don't mind having to turn it in late, but I was just confused, what was going on with that.
So were you able to get your quiz completed and you see a grade there?
Yes.
Let's go down and have a look at your file. It's possible that you took it late, so it will say late on it.
Okay, and that's what I thought it was, but when I opened the quiz assignment, it said it wasn't due till Friday, but maybe it was last Friday. I'm not sure.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you did it on...
I did yesterday.
Yesterday, okay. So yes, that would have been due after the official deadline.
Okay.
So you got it done after its due date, but I see that I opened a late option. So if I open a late option, you can still complete it. It'll just come up as late here. Okay. So you got, I see it's the credits there. So that's good. So your credit's in there. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Great. Okay. So quiz number 1, let me just check on here. So I'll check because, every assessment, there are many assessments, has a different, a different, let me see, set of expectation. Due Wednesday the 17th. Yeah. So quiz number 2 was due on Wednesday the 17th. Okay, so I think it may have had a late option for those who weren't used to quiz number 1, so they need to submit it. So you still got yours and it was just late. Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, great question. Good question. Does anyone have any other questions? Okay, no other questions. That's cool. I was able to change the quiz background. So when you guys go to do quiz 2 and 3, that will look a little bit better. Okay, so I downloaded all the submissions. Let me see if I can grab them. Okay, here we go. It's in a folder. Good. Gonna bring this to the front. Gonna bring this to the left. Okay, awesome. So first what I'll do is I'll look through the pre-task review submissions here, and I'll read them out to kind of give you guys a sense of what people have been working on for their submissions, and so that we can review our test topics together and see what other students are writing about, okay? So here's one, and this is going to be on the text Beowulf, which is by an anonymous author, and we're gonna see one key term being chosen and discussed. Okay, cool, so let's read it together. Beowulf is an Old English long epic that was written by the Anglo-Saxon colonies. The epic poem Beowulf tells the story of a brave warrior knight who fought allegorical monsters. The text describes 3 battles. He won the first 2, but during the third battle, his luck runs out and he perishes. Okay, wonderful. So what's the key term here? Can anyone write into my Zoom group chat as I'm going through this one what the key term is? And then I'm gonna highlight that so that we can go through together the different parts. Epic poem. Thank you, Megan. Wonderful. Great job, Megan. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So what we've got is epic poem. Good. Okay, so we've got long epic. I'll bold that. Good. So that's going to be our term. Let me just go through and insert a comment. Okay, so this is key term. Good. And this will be our author / title here. Good. So I'll bold, comment, author, title. Okay, perfect. So now what we need is definition and example. Okay, so let's see what the definition. Okay, good. We also have, here's another key term, oral poetry. Good. And I see that the text is changing here, so let me just format it here. Okay, home. Here we go. Standard. There we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. So here's oral poetry, and here's the definition. Okay, good. So you technically only need 1 key term, which is good, but this person has 2, which is fine. Review, comment. Okay, so I'm going to put key term number 2. Excellent. And move this, whoops, daisy. Move it over here. Good. Okay, so here is the definition. Okay, so it's a form of poetry that's told out loud or verbally. Okay, by traveling poets who are Scott. Very good. Poems have multiple narrative steps, written in the epic genre and available for anyone who could understand language. Very good. Okay, so here's the definition. Add this comment and, oh, sorry, the example. Oh, this is still definition. Okay, definition. Number 2B. Good. So characters are evident in Beowulf. Characteristics evident. Good. Divided into 3 battles written in the epic genre. Oral poetry tradition, often performed in groups. All poems not written down, passed on verbally. Oral poems made up of units. Alliteration, epithets. Alliteration poems, same letter. It starts words. Epithets replace proper noun. Okay, good. You got great. So great is an adjective, and geet is a noun. So great geet is an epithet. So adjective plus noun. Okay, cool. Okay, so epithets are adjectives which supplement nouns usually and show the construction of Old English. Okay, so now something that I have sometimes when I look at people's test answers is that people go over the recommended length. So usually I say between 6 sentences and 9 sentences, okay? So here I think we're over the maximum number of sentences. So I'm gonna cut it and trim down the excess, okay? Okay, cool. So 1 key term, this is good here from lecture, is oral poetry. Form of poetry, verbally told. Okay, poems were, okay, so the definition. Okay, it's divided in 3 battles and written in the epic genre. Okay, so I'm gonna put, here we go. And let me see, this is more definition. Okay, oops, there we go. Okay, so oral poetry. The oral poetry tradition was performed in groups alongside harper lute, not written down, passed verbally, made up of units of verse. Good. It's form of poetry. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of repetition there. Often performed in groups. Okay, alongside a loop of heart. Okay. Creating a unique form of poetry, verbally told. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, 3 battles and written in the epic genre. I'm going to say more information for the example, please. Okay, and so for this one, I'm just giving you 2 out of 2 if you complete it, so that's great. I'll say Beowulf, the great Geat, has oral poetry epithets, and Beowulf, the great adjective, Geat, noun, when he is serving in Denmark. He's originally a Swede, but now he's a Geat. So the Great Geat, or, anyone called the Great Geat, like Hrothgar, Great Dane, is, like the Great Dane, the greatest, biggest person from Denmark. That's just a form of epithet. We've got adjective and then noun, right? They're not both adjectives. They don't replace one. They just have an adjective right before the noun. So now you have Great Geat, has oral poetry epithets and illustrates traditional poetic wording in a high, verbally delivered oral language. Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. Oh, here's all this. Okay, this is great. The epic poem Beowulf tells the story. Okay. Okay, is an old English long epic that was written by, I'll put as oral poetry. Okay, this gives us some focus. Now we're not going to go over length. So how many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and here's our other example. More information for the example. Let's put it here. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we have a better, more concise answer. So I'm going to put 1 key term and 6 sentences. Okay, great. So Beowulf is an old English long epic that was written as oral poetry. The oral poetry tradition was often performed in groups alongside a harp or lute, creating a unique form of poetry that was verbally told by traveling poets, also called scop in Old English. Great, good detail about oral poetry. Poems were characterized by having multiple narrative steps written in the epic genre, and the poems were available for anyone who could understand the language. Good. These characteristics are evident in Beowulf, which is divided in 3 battles and written in the epic genre. Okay. And maybe I'll take this extra stuff because it's just extra text. Okay, so more information. The epic poet Beowulf tells the story of a brave warrior knight. Very good. So that's characteristic of the epic, told orally about, a single warrior or knight who goes off and does a quest. It's, told by this guy with a lute, and it's always, the story told in heraldry of one or the other knights, like Lancelot, Beowulf, or someone like that. Sir Gawain, the Green Knight, someone like that. The epic poem Beowulf tells the story of a brave warrior knight that fought, or who fought, allegorical monsters. The text describes 3 battles. He won the first 2, but during the 3rd battle, his luck ran out and he perished. Okay, good. That's what happened. Very good. Beowulf, the great adjective Geat, noun, when he is serving in Denmark, has oral poetry epithets and illustrates traditional poet wording and high verbally delivered oral language. Okay, perfect. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sentences. Okay, so we've got up to 8 sentences. Good. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to save this one. Perfect. Place, let's see, I'll get a nice folder for it here. Oops. Recent folders. Okay. Oops, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to minimize my chat. Oop. Put this at the left. Okay, add a place. Oop, that's not what I need. That's not what I need at all. Maybe put this at the bottom. Let me see. Let me see, file, save as. Okay, there we go. That's good. Desktop. Maybe there's documents in here. Put this down. System users, applications, movies, documents. There we go. Boop. Okay. Okay, good. And then I'm going to put the author. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So very good. That's 2 to 2. Wonderful. I'll save this here. If we don't have time for me to write all of these because there are so many, I'll just move straight to presentations. But let's maybe do one more right now. And then I'll go to presentations. Where's my little folder with all these open items? Finder and open on my Mac. Downloads, here we go. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna choose anyone. Here we go. Okay, cool, another Beowulf. Beowulf is very cool. Awesome, okay, cool. So let's see. Okay, perfect. So Beowulf, a Geatish warrior, is known as a heroic figure who fought to protect the Danes from a terrifying monster, Grendel. Presenting his services to defeat Grendel, King Hrothgar of Denmark accepted Beowulf's offer to challenge the vicious demon. Okay, good. Does anyone have a picture of what key term we're working with so far? If you do, you can just pop it into chat as we go along, and I'll just monitor that. Accepting the challenge, many felt Beowulf would not succeed in defeating the beast. Proving his strength fighting unarmed, Beowulf defeated Grendel using Grendel's arm as a trophy for the Danes. Wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to go review. I should have turned on my track changes. I'm not giving marks for this, but I'm just going to do it here. Very good. Okay, just a 2% completion mark. Good. Following the death of Grendel, the monster's mother appears, upset and demands revenge. Beowulf then defeats the beast's mother in her lair, greatly appreciated by Hrothgar and the Danes. Very good. And then I'm going to add a subject to this subclause here. So yeah, feat greatly appeared by Hrothgar and the Danes. Good. Later, Beowulf is ascended, or he ascends to the throne. Wonderful. Leading the Geats. Actually, he leads the Swedes in Sweden. Now protecting the Geats from a Geat dragon that was disturbed by a thief. I'll say called once again, called to Denmark once again. Called from Sweden to Denmark. That's unclear in the text, very hard to read, but I'm just going to say called from Sweden to Denmark once again. Beowulf now, very good, protects the Geats from a Geat dragon, very good. And if you wanted to make it an epithet, you could say a great adjective Geat. Noun, good. So he protects the Geats, great Geat, from a Geat dragon that was disturbed by a thief. Beowulf is now defeated, accepting his fate. Okay, good. So we see the Wheel of Fortune, right? That philosophical element, he was at the top. Now he's at the bottom. Very good. So Beowulf is now defeated, accepting his fate as an old man. Okay, very good. The term Old English Long Epic Poem. Good. Here's our key term. I'm going to bold it. Good, excellent, excellent. Uses metaphorical and allegorical challenges amongst the beast and creatures. It also applauds a single hero. For example, in this poem, the hero applauded is Beowulf. Okay, great, excellent. Key term, good. Key term 1, and how many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess it's one sentence over. Okay. Let's see if I can cut one sentence. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to take this sentence, put it at the beginning, and then make 2 sentences into one. Okay. So here we go. Term English long epic poem uses metaphorical and allegorical challenges amongst beasts and creatures. Poem also applauds a single hero. Very good. For example, in this poem, the hero applauded is Beowulf. Okay, I'm going to give a comment here. I'm going to say key term number 1. Very good. And then here, I'm going to have definition definition number 1, and then we have example. And we know it's an example because it starts off with the word example, and then we do details. So example number 1. Okay, good. So that's how we've got this set up. Perfect. So we've got term, English long epic, definition, examples, and we also have the title here, which is great. So I'm going to put that here, title, author. Okay, wonderful. So we have good 1 key term and 9 sentences. Perfect. Okay, good. So 2 out of 2. Great, good for completion. Great, wonderful. Let's see if I can figure out where this goes in my documents. Okay, perfect. And make sure I get the name right so that I don't misidentify. Whoops. Okay, if we have time at the end, I'll go through more. Perfect. Okay, good. Good. Okay, perfect. Got it. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. So now what I'm going to do just to make sure we fit everything in on time is to see how many people are here. And if people want to present in person, they can do that. That's wonderful. If you just want to submit online because you can't join us, that's okay too. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is if you want to do a presentation really quickly, it's just 2 or 3 minutes, literally like title, key term, definition, example. You can turn on your camera and let me know. If I don't have enough people volunteering or people who can join me, I'll just read the digital discussion submissions. But if there's anyone who wants to do a presentation, you can indicate that in chat, or you can turn on your microphone and your video and just present to us 2 to 3 minutes, a title, an author, key term, definition, and example. Okay, so I'm gonna say in chat, hi everyone. Is there anybody who would like to volunteer to participate in the class discussion presentations first? You will need to turn on your computer screens, microphone, and camera. Presentations are 2 to 3 minutes long and require author, title, key term number 1, definition, and example. Okay, so if anyone wants to volunteer, you can. If there's no one who wants to, I might be super mean and pick on someone. Let me see. Megan, do you want to go first because you answered a question? Are you ready to go first, or do you want to upload to the website?
I'm going to upload it to the website. I don't have everything ready yet.
Okay, you don't want to do a quick talk on just a key term and definition?
Oh, I don't have anything prepared for that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. No problem. Is there anyone else who wants to go at all? I know everyone's shy. I see some people who are here now also uploaded discussions. I've already got one person. Maybe what I'll do is kind of read those out. Is there anyone who wants to go, or are all very, very shy? It's just 2% completion. It doesn't matter what you say. You can totally volunteer. Okay, well, I'll read some. Did I hear someone? No. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm about to do the presentation.
Okay, cool. Hello. Thank you very much. Make sure I get your name. Kirtan Kumar, right? Kirtan Kumar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, do you want to turn on just the sound? You can turn on your video too if you want. Otherwise, I'll give you the 2 out of 2 just for the sound. That's fine. Yeah, if the camera's not working.
Is it okay if the camera is not working? That's okay, right?
Sure. Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Should I go ahead for the presentation?
Yeah, so you can just give us title and author, 1 key term from the lecture slides for that author, and then a definition of the key term, so what it's about, and then how the example text goes with it.
Okay, my title is Beowulf in a long epic piece. Hold on, give me just a second. I'm sorry.
That's good.
Beowulf is a long epic that was written by a branch of an Anglo-Saxon colonies.
Good. Very good.
Oral poetry is a form of the poetry that was told along with the traveling poets. This poet is told by the different narratives, steps, and it is written in an epic greens. It is accessible to the all audience who could understand the language.
Good.
Oracle of poetry is spoken from the poetry in Old English. The poetry is more spoken rather than written, and it is passed one poet to the another. This
Right.
poetry is performed in different groups.
Good.
Oral poetry from Anglo-Saxon period contains alliteration and ep- epithets.
Good.
Epithets are the word accomplished or replacing the proper noun. It
Good.
demonstrates the poetry in a high language. It is found in the formal word of the class and status applied in a religious content such as great and greet. It shows the construction of Old English words around a representation of the concept in a patterns.
Good. And is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Do you have any more information just to give us one example of how the long epic oral poem is maybe, let me see one of these things. So let me see. How about told in narrative steps? Can you just tell us a little bit more about how Beowulf specifically is told in a series of narrative steps, like steps going upwards? So step 1, step 2, step 3. What happens in step 1? What happens in step 2? And lastly, what happens in step 3?
Okay, in a step one battle with the Greens, a monster forager on the Dempster who attacks the household
Good,
of Herden the Great. The
good.
second was battle with the grandmother,
Yep, good.
and third one is a battle with a dragon from Sweden.
Good, good. Dragon from Sweden. Wonderful. Okay, very good. That's awesome. Very good. Thank you. Wonderful presentation. That is wonderful. Thank you very
So
much. Okay, do you have
I
any
just
more
have
questions?
one question. So I don't have to submit anything on the website now anymore, right?
Nope, I'll just give
All
you
right,
2 to 2, so I just wrote that there, and that's it. Yeah, if
all
you
right,
want to
perfect.
submit
Thank you.
an oral presentation, that's okay. Yeah, and if you look up, if anyone else wants to submit orally instead, and if they get the key term definition and example while class is going on, you can absolutely let me know right now. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is just open up the floor. Is there anybody else who would like to do an oral presentation for us in class before we're done with our classroom session today? What I think I might do while you're deciding if you want to go or not is look at my PowerPoint